we are seeing a systemic collapse of the Anglo-American banking system that has dominated certainly the Western world and the rest of the planet for the last, let's arguably say, 300 years. So we are in for a major social paradigm shift, and the majority of people are simply being misinformed.
Miss, would you like to say something? Nothing. Sir? Nothing? Have you been lied to ever? You're okay? Is there anybody here that's been lied to by their government or their media? If the answer is yes, even if you don't want to say anything about it, isn't that enough? What's wrong with one lie and you're out? They keep us in a world of fiction. They attack us for their own agendas, short-term military agendas. So 9/11 was a military operation, an intelligence operation to make sure that we have none. And there's no shame in falling for it. We all fell for it on the day. We all fell for it. We all believed that the killers had to pay, but instead we're paying them with interest. Our media covers up the lies of the government. They're morally and intellectually bankrupt. The signs on the bus stops. We're your newscast. We're on your side. A voice you can trust. We gotta stop trusting people, myself included. Do not trust me. We need to know things. We don't check into things. We check with people. We see what Tony Parsons says instead of looking it up ourselves. We call Bill Good for his explanation of events instead of researching these events. So we end up with beliefs based on no knowledge. I saw a poll that said 40% of Americans believe that Barack Obama is a Muslim, born in Kenya. He's not a Muslim. He's a Mason, born in Kenya. This is knowledge. It's not opinion. Well, people say, well, who's in charge then? Who's really running the show? And they come with all these conspiracy theories. This party is not about conspiracy theory. We don't have any theories. We deal in fact. So people come to me and say, well, who is it? Is it the Bilderberg Group that runs everything? The Trilateral Commission? The Council on Foreign Relations? The Freemasons, the Jesuits, the oil cartels, the bank cartels? Who is it? You want to know who's running everything? I'll tell you right now. Not you. So instead of worrying about who it is, let's focus on who it isn't. Look in the mirror and realize that you have no power because you are claiming no power. Knowledge is power, and that's why they do not want you to have any. I've looked into everything I'm talking about. That's why I have no social life. That's why I have no friends. That's why I have a neglected wife. I spend all my time focusing on things that I shouldn't have to because it's the media's job to tell the people what's going on. I've already started and reached out and had conversations, tried to have conversations with people who are already sitting MLAs, who had nothing to do with the HST, for instance, a first-term Liberal candidate who just wanted to get in politics and do the right thing, and now they find themselves about to be tossed because their brand name, Liberal, is gone. They have no say within their own party. They can't vote against the Premier. They have no control over this tax. The Premier didn't write the tax either. I'll get into that. These people will come over and join the Truth Party. there will be members of the NDP joining the Truth Party. So on the day that we register, we will already have members in government. We're going to give the voters insurance so that a politician can never lie to them again without instant consequence. They're going to have mandatory pre-signed letters of resignation, signed in advance, so that the moment they are caught in a lie, they're out. We do not need to wait 4 years to get rid of someone who's dishonest. We can remove them right away, and there's actually precedent for it here in British Columbia. In White Rock last year, there was a judge, Supreme Court judge named Laura Giroux, and she kicked out a White Rock City Council candidate because he lied on the campaign trail. Then she ordered him to pay $20,000 for the cost of the subsequent election. And that's the precedent we're going to use, because he tried to get the other politicians to fight with him and get this law removed, but they didn't want anything to do with it. So it's still on the books. If you're caught lying, not only are you removed immediately, but you will personally and financially be responsible for the cost of the subsequent election. It's necessary to replace yourself. There's no reason that the taxpayers should have to pay $30 million for a referendum or a recall campaign or a new election when we're not the ones who lie. When the Truth Party's in power, the person who lies will have to pay the cost of their own replacement, and that is not a wild suggestion. That is a bare minimum to ensure that we're not lied to again. Can you imagine a president of the United States having to foot the cost of a U.S. election, hundreds of millions of dollars, because he lied? We're going to set it up. He says, oh, that'll never happen. Everyone is saying that this will not work, and no one has ever tried it. They're hiding your money from you. We have a debate about, oh, should we be allowed to see MP's expenses? MP expense reports. This is our money. They have no right to secrecy or privacy in regards to it. It's ours. It is an absolute impossibility that we are going to allow MPs to hide their expenses from us in the future. The people in the truth movements shouldn't have to be put in a position where they run up to you on the SkyTrain, like this guy has to do, with a sign saying, investigate Building 7. He shouldn't have to do that. We've set up a system where these guys get to vote themselves raises. So they just, well, instead of 80,000, I'm going to make 108,000. Well, they can make it 108 million. You have no say. It's not a comfortable feeling when you realize that the system you're told you had growing up as a kid is not real. You have no say.
You got a pretty picture you're painting.
Well, it isn't. And, you know, I think it's time that people start realizing that the jig is up, and we have got to stop listening to these stupid politicians and these repeaters on the business channels who are clueless.